In this tutorial, we're going to take a look at how to deal with pincers. Before we get into any josekis, I would like to mention that when someone approaches this 3-4 point of the board and gets pincered, the joseki can turn extremely complicated. In our games, especially if you're a low-down player or Q player, as soon as a complicated joseki takes a place, the chances are nobody knows what's going on. If you don't know how to deal with the complicated josekis, then you should simplify it in the first place. If this turns into a complicated joseki where nobody knows what's going on, then whoever pincered first is going to have an edge. Because how many ever moves you play, the one who pincered is going to always have one extra stone than the one who got pincered. So when you get pincered, if you don't know any complicated josekis and you don't want to learn the complicated josekis, then you can use what I shared in this tutorial in your games to simplify everything and settle everything as soon as possible. Let's say you are white in this game and you got one space low pincered. One of the most common joseki we use is this shoulder head, but as soon as black cuts you off, and if you know this joseki, then you should be fine. White is going to form a tiger's mouth, black captures this stone, and white captures this stone. This is not that difficult, but it can escalate really fast. Instead of capturing this stone, black could hane up. White is going to need to push and keep pushing. Needs to push 3 times, and the old joseki is jump, new one is this kosumi. It gets extremely complicated, which means you shoulder hitting black stone over here, there's a chance of it getting really complicated. If you want to avoid all that complication, then you can simply jump. Black is going to answer you with the small knights, and you're going to shoulder hit this stone. Does this picture look familiar to you? If you watched the start point joseki video, then you probably have seen this one. But in this one, the difference is black got one line pushed down toward the side of the board, so white jumping is kind of acceptable now. From here, black should kick, and if you don't want any influence over here, let's say you don't really have good stones on the board, then you could hane first. Of course, black is going to block you. Hane again. This is also atari. Black is going to connect. And if you want to be really solid, then you can spend another stone over here. If you are confident with your readings and your abilities to control the board, then you could also play these kind of moves. When black kicks you, what if you want influence? Then everything else is going to be the same. Black extends, white pushes. Black tries to come out. White says no. Black pushes again. White pushes. When black jumps, now white has to defend this cutting point. If white plays away, then black is going to wedge over here. If white ataris from top, black is going to connect. If white connects over here, then the easiest way is just black cutting here. Before doing that, black can first ask, can I take this stone and split you up? If white says no, then black is going to ask again. If white says no again, then these 4 stones are pretty much dead. If you don't want to leave any chances, then just spend another move. You got a huge corner, it's okay. When you atari this stone, what if white attaches? Then you can simply take this stone. White is split into 2 groups. White needs to keep running. This is also not great for white. If white secures this cutting point in the beginning, then black can simply capture these 2 stones, and this is still a huge corner. When black wedges over here, what if white ataris from bottom? Then black is going to extend. If white tries to come out, then black is going to block. White is going to atari this one. Black extends. white ataris again, black extends, white ataris again, black extends. When white tries to push out, black is going to block. What if white ataris these two stones? When black extends, white ataris this stone. Black is not going to answer you over here. Black is going to play this move. If white connects this stone back, then these 4 stones are going to die, which means these are also dead too. If white takes this stone, then this stone is going to die. Like this one, and black can even sneak in Atari first. White needs to connect, and the easiest way to deal with it is just take it. So you might want to sneak in another move, but the thing is black is going to get sent it. If you want to simplify everything, then choose this Joseki instead. Now that we know how to simplify this 1-space low pincer, let's take a look at 2-space high pincer. The easiest way to deal with it is this Kosumi. I don't recommend using this shoulder hit because as soon as black cuts white off, this fight is going to be extremely complicated, and if both players don't know what's going on, then black is going to have an edge because black is always going to be 1 stone ahead of white. If you don't want any of those complicated Josekis, then just play this Kosumi. Black is going to answer you with the small knights. When you take the corner, getting pincered over here is terrible, so black probably needs another move over here. And this, white is alive, so white can go back and pincer this stone. Do you remember one of the first tutorials in this project, which is you only pincer if you have another stone on the other side. If black pincered when white has a stone over here, then this is a great shape. If black players knows a thing or two about Go, then he should have pincered when there's another black stone on the other side of the corner. Then from here, when white pincers this stone, it has to run, and white can approach this corner, and when black answers, white can either keep attacking or just settle or play away. It's your choice. So this is how to deal with this 2-space high pincer. What if you high approach your opponent and your opponent 1-space low pincers you? The most common way of playing this Joseki is to attach over here, but it can get extremely complicated. If you don't want any complications, then you can simply play this Kosumi again. From here, black is going to make another Kosumi, and you have 2 choices. It depends on if this part of the board is your stone or not. If you have your own stone over here, then you can choose to shoulder hit this stone. Black is going to connect back, and you block this side to grow this part of the board. If black has a stone or 2 over here, then you can choose to block. Black is going to expand and shoulder hit this stone. If black runs, then let him run and stack your influence. If black is really good at Go, then he might play this move. When white captures this stone, black can either play away first, or if black has a really good moyo over here, then black can try to lock in this moyo this way. Again, these Josekis might not get you the best results, but it helps you to avoid unnecessarily complicated Josekis. When you play this Kosumi, what if black plays this attachment? You can first hane from this side. Black, of course, is going to cut you off, and you can atari. Black extends. You push. Black needs to capture this stone, and you can capture, not capture, but almost capture this stone. This result is definitely good for white. So you don't have to worry about black attaching over here. Now let's take a look at 2-space high pincer. From here, you really don't have an easy way out. First of all, when you get 2-space high pincered, when you approach high on this 3-4 corner, you don't attach over here. Even if black plays softly, not jumping or making anything flash, just making a tiger's mouth. White doesn't have any space to extend over here, so white needs to jump. From here, black doesn't even need to play any extreme moves, just take some points over here. If white plays over here, then black is going to settle. Even if white gets to pincer this stone, as soon as black jumps, since these 4 stones are still not alive, this has to jump and black only pincers when another side has a black stone too. So black can even pincer this stone back, white jumps, black jumps, this one has to run, this one runs, and apply pressure on these 2 stones. So this is definitely not good for white. Although there are no easy way out from this 2-space high pincer, here is the easiest Joseki in this branch. White is going to make this large knights. Black is going to have to play here. White harness. When black extends, white bumps, black jumps, white gets into the corner, black needs to defend over here, and white can push this stone first because this stone, we don't care about him anymore, and form a tiger's mouth over here. From here, black is going to need to spend another move over here to completely capture this stone, and white can push one more time, black extends, and pincer this stone. Again, if white has another stone over here, then it's extra great for white, but the chances are black is going to have a stone over here. So when this stone runs, white can approach the corner. When black defends the corner, white can either keep applying pressure on these stones, or white can simply go in and take some points and settle. Let's sum it up really quick. When white approaches low and gets 1 space low pincers, then white can jump. Black is going to play small knights. When white shoulder hits, black kicks. If white wants to settle, instead of get the influence over here, then white can hane over here. Black hanes back. White ataris, black connects, and white can either pull back or extend down or even the small knights to capture this stone. If white wants some influence over here, then white can extend. Black is going to crawl on the 3rd line and push, block, push again. White extends and black jumps. Remember to secure this cutting point. This is also a simple way of avoiding a complicated Joseki. When white gets 2 space high pincered, then white can play this Kosumi. Black is going to play this small knights. White slides into the corner and survive. Black still needs another move over here. And white can pincer this stone. When black jumps, let's say we have a black stone over here, white can settle this way. And this is an easy way to deal with this 2 space high pincer. When white high approaches and black 1 space low pincers, the easiest way is to play this Kosumi. First of all, black attaching over here does not work. Black is going to Kosumi over here. And if white has a stone over here, then white could choose to shoulder hit when black connects back, grow this side of the board. If black has a stone over here, then white can block the connection. When black extends, shoulder hit the stone, and if black crawls on the 3rd line, let him crawl and get your influence. If black harasses white from this side, then just take this stone and settle. When black 2 space high pincers, white doesn't really have an easy way out. You really have to remember this Joseki. Large knights, black attaches, hane, black extends, white bumps, black jumps, white harness, black needs to connect, white can push once, black extends, and white forms a tiger's mouth. From here, black needs another move over here, then white is going to push one more time because this stone is dead, just keep him even more dead, and come back and pincer this stone. When this stone jumps, let's say if we have a black over here, then white can just settle this way. Black defends the corner, white can either keep going into the corner or start to apply even more pressure on these two black stones. There are a lot more variations on this one, but this specific sequence helps you to avoid any complicated variations because this one is the infamous taisha with thousands of variations. Unless you want to spend next year or so studying this Joseki, then just follow this sequence.